The purpose of this video is to educate you and enhance emergency and active threat procedures being implemented in our schools. Schools have typically assumed to be a safe place for students and teachers to spend the day without worry. Threats have always been possible, but with our nation's most recent school tragedies, we want to take some time to remind you of our practices in Berea City schools. We are committed to ensuring that all students and staff stay safe if there is an emergency in and or around our schools. There are 3 possible responses that we could implement in an emergency response: building lockdown and barricade, active threat, run, hide, fight. A building lockdown is used when a threat or a concern exists outside the school building, like when a crime occurs near campus. Students and staff are asked to remain indoors or to come inside. The school day continues as normal, but we remain indoors with caution. The second type of response is a lockdown with barricade. In a lockdown with barricade, you must find a safe place that you can lock down and barricade to protect yourself, because an active threat may be in the building, but we do not want to enact the active threat run, hide, fight protocol. Remember, in a lockdown with barricade, spread out, remain quiet, and stay out of sight. The third response to an emergency situation or an active threat is to run, hide, or fight, in that order. Berea City Schools is adopting a program created by the Department of Homeland Security called Run, Hide, Fight. These procedures give you the opportunity to make the safest decision possible. If you become aware of an armed intruder, it is important to alert the building.
There is an active threat. This is not a drill.
This could be done through the school intercom, your teacher, an email, text message, a phone, or lastly, what you are seeing happening in the building. Do not hesitate to let a teacher or principal know that someone is in the building and looking to cause harm. It is always okay to call 911 with information, as they are prepared to handle overflow calls during an emergency.
I'm at Berea-Midpark High School and I think there's an intruder in the building.
If it is safe to do so, run and exit the building. Make sure to have a plan before finding an exit. Remember to keep your hands visible so you are not confused as the intruder. If it is not safe to evacuate, hide where you are. Find a room that can be closed off from the intruder. Barricade the door with heavy furniture, and remember, time is very important. The intruder's goal is to cause as much harm as possible before police respond. They are less likely to waste time trying to get through a locked door or climbing over objects. After you barricade the door, everyone you are with must come up with a plan of action in case the active threat is able to breach the barricade. If confronted with the intruder and in immediate danger, you may need to fight him or her as a last resort. Distract them with anything you can. Throw and attack with objects that you have available. If there's no way to keep the armed person out of the room, you may need to approach them. Do what you can to help subdue the intruder. Get them to the ground. Have multiple people assist you in holding them down. Do what you can to separate the weapon from the intruder. If you do get the weapon away, never pick it up or handle it. The police are looking for a person with a weapon, and you do not want to be mistaken for that person. Place a large object or wastebasket over the weapon. Have someone call the police and update them on the status of the intruder. If the person is no longer a threat and you can evacuate, do so. If you can take the weapon with you, put it in a trash can or some other container so you are not mistaken for the intruder once you leave the room. Once again, when you leave the building, you should put your hands up to let police know that you are not the intruder. Please know the police are trained to respond immediately. The first mission for arriving officers is to stop the intruder from harming others as quickly as possible. First aid and care for those injured will be taken care of quickly by professional medical responders. These 3 easy steps will help you remember what to do if you're ever faced with an armed intruder. Run. If outside, stay outside and run to an area of safety or the rally point. If there's an escape route, move quickly to a safe area. If staff is present, follow their instructions. Escape by exits or windows and leave your belongings behind. help others escape, prevent and warn others along the way about danger. Call 911 when it is safe and pass on critical information. Hide. Hide until help arrives. Lock and barricade your door. Turn off lights. Close blinds. Silence all electronic devices. Hide behind large objects spread out in the room. Remain calm and quiet. Your hiding place should be out of the intruder's view and provide protection, but doesn't restrict your options. In an active threat, if a fire alarm sounds, do not evacuate immediately unless there is fire or smoke and it's visible. Call 911 when it is safe and pass on critical information and grab items to defend yourself in case you have to confront the threat. Lastly, fight. Fight is a last resort. Attempt to incapacitate the intruder. Improvise weapons and use any means necessary. Commit to your actions. And lastly, call 911 when it is safe and pass on critical information. For parents, it's important to understand your role if your child is ever found in this situation. The first instinct of a parent is to immediately come to the school. This can put a parent in harm's way and interfere with emergency response teams. Also, parents should not call their child during a lockdown situation. If an intruder is still loose in the building, a ringing phone could lead them to students. It is critical that we communicate with students and staff first during such an event. Information for parents about the incident will be communicated as soon as possible through email, district website, text messages, social media, and local news media. The district will also share information about reunification, where students can meet their parents or guardians. Please know, the safety of our students and staff has always been and always will be a priority in Berea City Schools. Run, Hide, Fight is designed to help teach students and staff how to react in the event of an active threat in our schools. Please visit Berea City School District's website or talk to your principal or school resource officer if you have any questions.